And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman in Crypto. Happy leap year. Today is Wednesday, February 28th. Tomorrow will be the 29th, 2024, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
Today's top stories. You know, if Bitcoin breaches 60K, now 61K for the first time in over 2 years, FTX founder SBF asked for a 6.5-year sentence and tells prison guards to invest in Solana. IRS hires 2 private sector crypto experts to prep for tax season and more. But first and foremost, what's going on with those prices, Bitcoin, Zay?
Oh, yeah. So, as you heard, Bitcoin breached 60K. Everybody's losing their mind, going crazy. Vegeta memes are back. The bull market is back, baby. And 60,726 price of Bitcoin today, up 6.3%. Ethereum at 3,341, up 2.5% today. Binance Coin at $412, up 4.5% today. Solana at 111 is up 1.7 today. XRP sitting at 58 cents is up 3.8%. Cardano sitting at 63 cents is up 2.4%. Avalanche at 39.59 is up 0.8%. And rounding out the top 10 is Dogecoin at 9 cents, up 2.5% on the day. And again, a lot of people on Twitter are losing their mind. They woke up to a $60,000 price. First time since December 2021. And I believe it's been, I think somebody calculated 859. Oh, man. So glad to be back. And some of the recently added coins, of course, PT coins, some AI shit, Ben the Dog and Multi AI. I told you the AI coins are going to be going crazy. They're just going to promise you all this artificial intelligence garbage, and the roadmap is going to look good, and they're going to probably make 1,000% off of it. Also up 43% today. Benkey up 22%, and Ego up 15%. And we are now in extreme greed, people. We have passed the 80 mark, and extreme
Sound the
greed is
alarm.
not surprising. Again, I'm starting to see people who are basically saying, hey, take everything you have, dump it into crypto. All of those profits in Bitcoin are going to roll into the smaller coins, and you already know what happens. If Bitcoin does a 2x or a 5x, everything else does 100x. So it is what it is, and that's most likely what most people are gearing up for right now.
Yeah, this is an extreme greed cycle because on Facebook this morning, I had a chance to see a ton of new or old content creators reappear with the "I told you so"s. Follow me for more info. Oh man, listen. I'm seeing posts. You know, I just saw the other day somebody did they did an article talking about people who are doing looping. A guy made like millions of dollars on Ethereum, like essentially looping a smart contract, and they're talking about how new it is. I was like, I remember we were talking about looping in a master class when we coined the phrase, but I get it. But
Yeah, we should.
there's like a lot of new content creators. Yeah, I saw so many new content creators popping up. So that's a good thing to see. The market is at that level. And T, what up, Dose? I've been waiting you just for 2 days. Listen, we've been waiting to go on for 2 days. We almost made that merge yesterday. Memories of Mike 64 ECG, no cap. Let's see, Marcellus Love. Hey, Jake Fever. Shout out to Jake Fever. Jake, you are still one of the closest to calling it. And speaking about Jake Fever, what do you say as far as is priced out the normie? If you want to make your Bitcoin, you got to make it through the altcoins. That's what Zay was just talking about. We were talking about before the show. Folks, it is time to gear up and get these altcoin bags if you haven't already here in the next few weeks, and get ready for liftoff. There's hoes still on some of them. They're going to make you back that capital amount you need to buy back into Bitcoin with. Remember, use that to buy back in Bitcoin. I want to break away with it, but that amount is definitely coming back.
Hey
All right,
man,
let's
take
see.
that tax check and go wild. DJ in time.
Seriously though, seriously, look, I'm trying my hardest not to go super wild and go back to the whole credit. Hey, let's throw everything we got at it. Let's see. Oh man, thank you. It is swapped. Hold on. All right. Come on, Bitcoin Zay. You got
I was liking the new look. I was liking being on the left.
no, I got people in the comments helping me with my audio. Zay, you supposed to tell me I had the wrong mic on, man. Come on. There it is. Sound better. It should sound better, everybody else. Okay, let's see. Top story of the day. Bitcoin breaches 60K. 61 just hit for the first time in over 2 years. Last time this happened was November 2021. shortly after it reaches all-time high. Is a pre-halving retracement imminent? First, I want to also applaud. That's my fault. I didn't dress up today. Oh man, I was being relaxed. I should have wore the white shirt. Jim Cramer is really the contraindicator. If you remember a few weeks ago, Cramer was like, "Get out of Bitcoin." This guy doesn't
Yeah.
miss, okay, and still maintains a TV show. I don't know how he does it, folks. I mean, talking about failing upward, you think of Jim Cramer, but again, Bitcoin has breached for the first time in over 2 years the 61,000 mark. I'm going to keep saying now that I just saw it after rising over 6% in the 24 hours leading up to 1 p.m. UTC on Binance at 1:11 p.m. I'm not sure why we're using Binance as the indicator, but okay. Let's see. The world's first cryptos up over 13% on the weekly chart, now over 20% and 30% over the past month, according to CoinMarketCap data. First time Bitcoin traded above 60,000 was on November 12th, 2021. And again, the good thing about that is that we are re-reaching that all-time high now in the shorter span than what we've seen in the previous past lows and dips of Bitcoin's history. So that's always good to look at. What are your thoughts on this, Zay?
Oh yeah. Well, as far as the price movement and fiat price, we're starting to see Bitcoin get to the point where, as we've stated before, it's going to 100K, it's going to a million. It's just a matter of time, and people are trying to time the market with the halving. And one thing I can say is that after the halving, there's always bullish sentiment, and the price does go up. But people forget about those little drops in between, which push and shake people out the market. Which we may see that a dramatic drop just to push some people out before the pre-halving or before the halving comes, and then a steady rise up, which I've said before. I feel like we're just gonna have a steady rise up like before, one huge drop or two huge drops on the way, and then just continue on. Bitcoin's not stopping. I mean, if you think that we have all of these ETFs with retail not really showing any signs of life yet, I mean, retail hasn't even gone crazy with it. On top of the fact that we have the halving coming, if you are bearish, man, I feel sorry for you. Y'all got slapped in the face today. If you are a day trader, that's different. But people that are bearish overall, like Jim Cramer, like this one trader that's on Twitter, I forget his name, but he's been bearish since like 48K. He's getting smacked left and right for like 3 weeks straight. Something is wrong with you, because this might be the most bullish asset and asymmetric risk of all time. And again, you are not too late. It has sort of priced out regular people if they're thinking short term, but long term, I mean, it's still early. Anything before 100K is still early to me.
Yeah, Jake said if you're normal, you can get a full Bitcoin, but you got to really believe, borrowing your credit cards and HELOCs and lock in. No guts, no glory, or degenerate grind. I'm with them on that.
DJs.
Definitely with them on that. Yeah, if you don't have a couple of Bitcoin to already trade, then yes, it's time to go crazy right now, because it's a very strong possibility it will not go down. Yes, STX for Bitcoin and is at $3. That's right. We were talking about that as well. Looking good about it. Miami coin is still under construction, correct? Bitcoin Zay?
Yeah, still working on upgrades, but
Yeah. So we'll
STX
see.
is the L2 to focus on right now.
All right. Speaking of STX, FTX founder SBF asks for a 6.5-year sentence, tells prison guards to invest in Solana, bro. I feel like he would have said, bro. What's going on with Sam Bankman Fried and trying to tender and cozy up to the prison guards? You don't know the rest of them going to be looking at him like, hey, what you over there telling, boss man, dog? What's
Hey
going
man,
on, FTX?
never shit. Never stop shilling. I mean, you never can stop shilling, no matter what happens. Even in prison, I mean, shilling to the guards. But the legal counsel for former FTX CEO SBF filed a bill in the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York, requesting the judge issue a prison sentence of 5.25 and 6.5 years. He's facing a maximum of 110 years if he somehow pulls off 6.5 years after losing billions of dollars. If you didn't know the game was rigged before, then you know for sure. He was indicted on 2 counts of wire fraud, 2 counts of wire fraud conspiracy, securities fraud, commodities fraud conspiracy, and money laundering conspiracy. Judge Lewis Kaplan, who's overseeing the case, is scheduled to announce sentencing March 28th. So we got about a month out there for now. I've always said I do not think he's getting a 100-year sentence. That's never going to happen. Not with the people he has behind him. But 6.5 years, good gracious, that's going to open up the floodgates for people to say, so you mean to tell me, sort of like the guy in Bitcoin, the movie, I can just basically go out here, scam millions, billions, and then do 6 years, because he'll get out still basically a young man, because he's only like 30. So he'll get out at 36, maybe 34 with good behavior. And if you have to weigh it, would you make billions of dollars for 4 years in prison? Most people would say yeah. So this sets a bad
Right.
precedent if this does happen.
Right. I don't think I mean, because here's the deal, people. It's not like you go to prison and everyone doesn't know you're a billionaire all of a sudden. It's
Yeah,
like the guards, the people, everyone's going to know you papered up and this was the play and this is all you got to do. Like, if anything, I would assume, and again, this is different. If it's not like he has crimes against children or anything. This is a financial crime. Like, I would assume it wouldn't be that bad. If anything, it'd just
yeah,
be an extended, extended camping trip. He don't want to be outside for 4 years. Oh well, here you are. But
yeah,
the reality is, like, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of poor people in there who are like, whatever you can do for me, I'm here for you. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure the guards who are also check to check, some of them are like, hey, we here to make sure we do our job, and you get in, you get out, and we're here for you. Like they're gonna
they,
make that.
yeah.
Yeah, come on,
They're
billions of
not gonna they're
dollars
not
in
gonna touch a
prison.
hair on his head. That man gonna be in there living like Paulie off
Listen,
Goodfellas, eating fish, cooking
listen,
spaghetti, getting fresh vegetables and basil and olive
listen.
oil. That man gonna be in there living large.
They say a few hundred pack of noodles on somebody could do some business. All right, so I know a man with billions of dollars can make something shake in there if he needed it. All right, so I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
too worried about.
but I do
Yeah, if
not
it's
I
six
do
and a
not
half, he's
believe.
good to go.
Yeah, I do not believe for 1 second that the money that he quote unquote lost is lost forever. That he got
Yeah,
something
but
stored
I mean,
somewhere.
but listen, here's the deal. Either it might be one of those things where he had the chance to bring the ship down and he didn't take it, and like thinking they gonna do him gracefully, and they could do him dirty and be like, no, let's just make sure he never talks again. Now
Yeah,
that's the other side of it. I'm not hoping or wishing that, but I am exploring that to where, and we have to explore, because yeah, it was a little bit more things involved and it got a little bit more sinister. But Ross Ulbricht essentially got a double life sentence for what a lot of people believe, a lot of things he didn't do. They said, hey, he's just developing and coding. The money plot for hire wasn't real, or even if it was real, people didn't get killed. People did get killed. Who knows? But he received a double life sentence for what a lot of people wouldn't consider worthy enough. And to
hmm,
see that happen, then to see him in this similar situation where it's like, hey, yeah, it could be 6.5, or it could be 100, it could be
hmm,
95, like it could. So again, I disagree. I don't think it's going to go that high, but it is something like, I wouldn't want to be on that hot seat to where,
yeah.
hey, listen, the judge or whoever wake up on the wrong side of bed the wrong day, they just like, you know what, we can't have people doing this. I was affected. My grandson was affected. Like, no, today is the day we get retribution, real retribution. We're gonna make a headline. And by the way, I'm running for election next season. Like, that's the type of deal
Nah,
that yeah.
that judge soft, man. That judge soft as hell. They were looking up his history of financial crime stuff.
Oh,
He's been
it
letting
was
people get
over.
away with stuff for years. The Judge Kaplan, he's soft, man. That ain't happening. But you're right. It could be a judge that decided, no. We're gonna give you at least half of this time. 55 years. Never. But again, I told you he's too tied in. They successfully laundered billions of dollars through FTX to politicians, to other countries. And then you get one guy that's the face of it to do 4 years, 5 years, maybe. That's a win. That's like that small sacrifice to get all that done in order to win an election, so to say, and have so much money. Because I don't know if you've seen King. Have you started to see some of these Ukrainian politicians, their wives, and like a few of them? They got like $1 million cash. They walking around trying to leave the country. I've seen like 3 or 4.
No, I'm gonna check it out
That
though.
money got washed somewhere in between, and somehow these people keep getting caught with money, and it's always politicians or like the politician's wife. So, I mean, for one person to get 4 years out of all of that, out of something that I'm sure was pretty planned out, yeah, that's not too bad.
Oh man, listen. I haven't seen those stories, but I have started to see people be like, "Hey, what happened to all the videos when they were talking about Ukraine had neo Nazis and all this crime stuff was going on? They just got wiped from the internet all of a sudden." Like,
It's gone.
I have seen those. All right. IRS hires 2 private sector crypto experts to prep for tax season. All right, they were like, "Look, damn it, hire somebody. We don't know what the hell going on here. We need somebody here." The IRS will use the funding from the Inflation Reduction Act IRA, the inflation. I, how do they get how do they get funds just from the name of it? How do you get funds from an Inflation Reduction Act
Man,
to fund a crypto IRS hires? unless your idea of an Inflation Reduction Act is what Biden said, where they're going to be doing things like literally going after the crypto sector to pay back the national debt. How jacked up is that? 'Cause that's essentially saying, you know what? We know this family has been in debt for years, but look at this brand new baby girl, baby boy we have. We are about to put everything in their name. That's right. They're only 1 year old, but they got a working social security number. We about to run the credit up on this
Run
poor
it.
little baby before they even 18 years old. That is this is some hood ghetto shit the United States is doing right now. Okay, you're
Yeah.
trying to reduce inflation for the American economy by going after the crypto sector. Why? Like,
You know
really?
what that sounds like? You know what that sounds like, King? It sounds like Executive Order 6102, which we've discussed plenty of times, where the inflation got out of control, the economy went to shit back in the 1930s. And in 1933, they came around and said, the reason we have this inflation is because everybody is hoarding all this gold. If you give the gold to the banks, we can then lend out money and then we can get this economy back started. And then World War II, of course, and then here we are. So it looks like the same thing is happening. They're starting to use the language of Inflation Reduction Act. So in order to enact it, we need to go after crypto people. All this crypto they're hoarding is making our economy tank. All this Bitcoin mining is making our grid go down. I guarantee you, if the grid goes down, they're gonna say Bitcoin mining has something to do with it. They're gonna use that as an excuse to confiscate. It's gonna be Executive Order 6102 all over again, right before we go to World War III. It's the same playbook. If you know the players and you know the playbook, none of this seems seems weird. But this to me is sort of like when we first read CBDC. I think you're going to start seeing more and more articles about this. How, hey man, we find a lot of crypto that hasn't been paying taxes. We find a lot of crypto that hasn't helped with the American economy. These people are traitors. We need to confiscate it, and people are going to fall for a hook, line, and sinker, even if it's them. That's the bad part.
Yep, and looks like these two private IRS recruits, so Sulit Mukherjee and Seth Wilkes, they believe that their expertise from the private sector can help the Department of IRS successfully build a digital assets infrastructure in a way that works for everyone, the way it works well for everyone. This is my problem. It's like you're saying we just hired two people from the private sector to help the IRS successfully build a digital assets infrastructure in a way that works well for everyone. So, since you don't have that yet, how are they taxing the market? People, they're literally telling you, we don't have anything set up for you yet. We can't protect you. There's nothing we can do, but we're taxing you. Oh, but at the same time, we just hired some people to figure out all this stuff for you. No, figure that out, get that together, get the framework, get the infrastructure, and then begin the taxes. That way you can say, this is why. This is what it's for. This is that. But instead, they're just saying we're blindly taking money and we're not putting it toward anything in this sector that we know of, because we don't even know what this sector is about, nor do we have a standard operating procedure, infrastructure, or anything of the sort. That is absolutely insane that this is allowed to happen, but the real gang stand up. This is what I'm talking about. You thugs. I love it. All right. Let's hear some Trapper Die. Let's throw some Jeezy on for the United States of America, pulling money out of different markets without protecting them. Of course, they're saying all U.S. businesses have to report crypto transactions over $10,000. That decision that was reverted on January 1st. At this time, digital assets are not required to be included when determining cash received in a single transaction or two or more related transactions meets the reporting threshold. So, as it has been, the regulatory environment is still super gray, super convoluted, and I would say consult with whatever professionals you need to consult with to do what's best for you. But really quick, Zay, before we call it a day, I just want to show you one last thing. While the market is pumping, while every altcoin's out there pumping, you got Hex. It was dipping today, man. It was down like 0.8 something percent. And yeah, I just want to throw yeah, there it is, 0.141%. That is right. And there's still people saying next bull run, Hex will moon. As we said before, it's not if it will moon, it's if it will moon at the same time as some of the other more popular cryptos and, of course, Bitcoin, or will you just be losing out on the actual rush and just getting the pennies behind? We shall see. Other than that, yeah. I saw some people talk about hexagons in the comments. Said where they at. I had to look at the price on the side. Stan said where the hexagons. Yeah, Stan asked, so I had to throw that out there. All right. Other than that, that is the show for today. You got any more comments, Zay?
No comments for me. Yeah, enjoy 60K day. Like I said, and stay safe out there for the DGens.
Hey, smash that like and share. We will see you all Friday with some more news. A lot of big news coming up. We're both running and gunning in the background, but the market is still whole, so we can't wait to see what happens next and see if we can get to that all-time high by Friday. We shall see. Smash the like and share. We'll see you all then. Cheers.
Cheers.